Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. When I came out of the with I'm with I don't even know what to call it. But I got back here in I would say November, November. You know, met a couple of people just to markers to see what time it was, to see how people took the knowledge, all the way back from 1977. Now we're talking about 30 years. So we're talking about people that was a child and their mother didn't teach them. They just refused to give them culture, to cultivate them so they can have heritage, so they can have something, you know. So they lost. So we're talking about the lost kids. We're talking about the lost kids. Okay? And people say, well, kids are baby gold, so it's just a mess. Okay, so anyway, so I said, okay, I got enough information. Go ahead, let me feed them a little bit at a time. Can't give too much because they like clueless, fragile, nothing people. Or they call them the living dead, but I give them a little bit more than that. But they're sneaky. Coming up, I seen the transformation. I seen the parents when they were young, and then I see the duplication coming up when they was the same age. And it's amazing creation. And when you don't teach your children right, they're not right. So I can go in deep as far as the faults, the things that's not right, but you have to draw the line. I drew the line. They ain't going nowhere. Their children ain't going nowhere. They stuck. They just stuck. That's just how it goes. They will live out their life and be the living dead, and that's it. And all we can do is be humorous about it. It's funny. It's funny because at the time, the children was coming up and talking about all these half-baked, pork chop eating, conscious, black conscious people, talking about their leaders and teachers, and they didn't know nothing. They didn't have a clue either. But the children enjoyed it because they didn't want to deal with the discipline. They didn't want to deal with the cleansing, what they call muklasina. It was a process that you have to go through to cleanse yourself from all the lies, false programming. It was things that you had to do for cleanliness, hygiene, for the body, fitra, ghusl, wudu, and certain things, in certain conversations that you have, when you cannot just talk about anything. You could not just do anything. You couldn't just turn on any channel and let that be, because your conversation was to heal, to be healed, to cleanse yourself. It's called muklasina. You couldn't wear what you wanted to wear. You couldn't style and be half butt naked. And when somebody look at you, then you get mad. That's retarded. That's confusion. And those who mothers knew and took shahada and was around their children, and their children led them off the path. So they got into things that just don't make sense. Especially the ones that's talking about spiritual. Oh, I got something for their ass. Oh, yeah. Don't tell me you're spiritual because you don't know what you're talking about. You're using these words, you don't know a thing about it. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we're going to start off tonight with that. You know, I had it up to here. It's over. You know, I made my last and final call. You know, it's like people have bad habits, and they thought they thought nobody seen it. It's written all over your face. All the things that you did, all the sin that you are, it's all over your face. And it was okay because nobody knew the truth. Nobody knew the truth. Everybody had what they had, and what they had was right for them, and they was trying to gather other people for what they was talking about, and what they was talking about was just for them. That was their little whatever. I don't care if they had 100 people, 2,000 people. I don't care if they had people working underneath them and they was on top. They did not, did not. I don't care what name the media put out there. I'm not going to repeat the names. They're supposed to be leaders. They didn't even know what a leader is, what a leader does. So the women, they took Shahada. Now, people say, well, what is Shahada? You keep talking about the Shahada is bearing witness to a lifestyle that you was going to live. So they let the pressures of society, the media, if you do the research and find out media, it means witchcraft. The word media means witchcraft. So when you're watching the news media, you're watching witchcraft. That's how far you so deep in between, stuck up in somebody's butt because you didn't want to be free. You was afraid to make those moves. You would rather wash somebody's ass and be a CNA. You would want change their sheets and wash their clothes, walk them down the street, and leave your kids in the system. Talking about you take them to the daycare, and when you know they don't care. So many things you've done over the last 30 years. 30 years. I came back a couple of times. Now I come back to flush you down the toilet. You done changed your name, didn't live out the oath that you have taken because of me. You can't blame it on me. If you Google me, you'll see. You may not like what I said, but you wasn't in my position. So yeah, I'm very, very not with what you're talking about. And if I don't tell you, who's gonna tell you? Your mother ain't gonna tell you, she don't know. Your daddy don't know. Your uncle sure don't know. Your auntie don't know. Your brother don't know. You don't know. Your children is clueless. And I'm definitely talking about you. It was a couple of y'all out there who gave me an opportunity to see what was going on. And you were very, very selfish. You were not mindful of your responsibility. Because you didn't think nobody was watching. They told you had two angels. One was telling you to do it, and the other one was telling you don't do it. When you say salam alaikum to Allah, salam alaikum to Allah, when you make your salat, what was salat? Salat was the talus, the protection, to keep you in the, what they call the deen or the malat, or the path, to keep you aware. So you say you Muslim, but look at you. You know, the first thing, people with the 9/11, people start taking off their clothes because they thought it was going to be easy. So they said, I'm not going to wear that. They're going to come get me. They already got you. You say you're righteous. It's to the point where you're confused. You're very, very confused. When you go in a building, what is a building? Why is a building made of concrete? What does it represent? When you're sitting in an office, a doctor's office, a business office, what is an office? Is it a room? Is it an apartment? Is it a loft? It is a home? Is it a house? It's an area. Words got you confused. Who created these words? How did they create them? What instruments did they use to create words? How could they take sounds and put a couple of different sounds and then they give you a definition to it? What is definition? Could it be death of a nation? Could they have grafted these words and defined them? So they could take you astray? So yes, you've been bamboozled by those who made the bamboozle, by Spike Lee and his crew. By the actors, Will Smith and his crew. By the singers, because you didn't want to say La ilaha illallah. You didn't want to come together and live for by with each other. You didn't want to establish a city of peace. You wanted to go ahead, get on a train, and be trained to be a slave. You want to go to the school, which is the programming center, and be programmed to be a slave, a servant. And you did it. You did it for 30 years. Now you're about to retire. You got bad habits. You've been eating junk. You've been talking trash, doing nothing. And you've been used and abused. You've been pimped by the industry. What did you establish? Now you got a little business selling junk and trinkets. And your chest is big out. You know, when the first time I seen all your titties showing, popping out, that was the style. That was your seductive powers that you put over those who you're supposed to teach, but you seduced them, like Jezebel. Did you ever really study about women and the things that they did and why it's changed? Did you make that change? Are you wearing tights? What is tight? Listen to the word tight. That's tight. Yeah, it's tight. What is it made out of? What material? Can you breathe? Can your root chakra get air? Be twins? Why is the material made of synthetics and plastics and stretchable stuff? What's that about? Did you take the time to find out about your underwear? Even your bra straps? Did you take the time to say, you know what? I need to stop. You didn't. You kept on going until you can't go no more. And you thought you was tricking me? You was not tricking me. You tricked your damn self. Because your grandchildren that you think is yours is not yours. You're not even your own.